Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA, here to review On the Rocks, the latest film directed by Sofia Coppola, which premiered at the 2020 New York Film Festival just a week or so before it will be released in theaters, courtesy of A24, and then will be available on Apple's streaming platform October 23rd, 2020. So this is Sofia Coppola's third time working with Bill Murray after, of course, Lost in Translation, which earned her the distinction of being the first American woman to be nominated for Best Director, and 2015's A Very Murray Christmas, which was made for television. This feels very much like their continuing affinity for one another, kind of like a project that Bill Murray is kind of being Bill Murray, and was a chance to work with him again and kind of let him run with it as this irreverent old playboy father. It's very much a film in Sofia Coppola's wheelhouse about fathers and daughters and bonding. Lots of similarities perhaps to Sometime, her 2010 Golden Lion winner. Basically, the nitty-gritty is Rashida Jones is Laura, who's a successful writer. She's she's suffering from writer's block because she sold her next novel before it's written, having some trouble with that. She has two children with her husband, Dean, played by Marlon Wayans, and they're kind of potentially in a lull that could be interpreted in several ways. One night, he's been traveling a lot. He's running his own some kind of marketing business that forces him to travel all over all the time. And one night, he has a habit of taking Xanax. He wakes up and starts kissing his wife, and when she speaks, he stops, which makes her think that it's because he heard her voice. There's other little telltale signs that could, again, be interpreted in different ways, but she starts going down that rabbit hole. And then she tells her father, Bill Murray, Felix, and he confirms that all of those are suspicious behaviors, and he makes it possible for them to kind of sneak around and follow Dean to see what's up, and they kind of use it as a father-daughter bonding experience. And at the same time, we learn that Bill Murray, as her father, cheating on her mother, caused a lot of familial trauma, and that is also a way they can kind of explore that. As I said, Bill Murray is being Bill Murray. Rashida Jones as Laura is also kind of being Rashida Jones, and they do have a very nice chemistry. I think you can read into perhaps some autobiographical elements with Sofia Coppola and her father, Francis Ford Coppola, with the creative energies about this father and daughter and working through family issues. Jenny Slate is in a small role, used kind of in a way that you would expect in a Woody Allen film, actually. Barbara Bain is her grandmother, of course, the actress from the 1960s television series Mission Impossible. Soundtrack is great by Phoenix. Her regular DP, Philip Lesueur, is on board, looks fine. Bill Murray's charming as ever. There are some passing references maybe to something like Tony Erdmann, where a father and daughter kind of share their funkiness together. And it really becomes a poignant exercise for this father and daughter to work through things and kind of bond together. At the same time, there's a lot of things that it doesn't quite address, such as Rashida Jones plays this very affluent, articulate woman, but can't bring herself to communicate with her husband, and when she finally is forced to, it's a very amicable discussion. Also, it does seem a bit like this is a response to Coppola's criticism as regards her inability to kind of have people of color in her films or deal with race. She doesn't in this film. It just feels like something that Coppola has directed and just has black people in. It would have been nice to have her play around with that a little bit. There's some interesting subtext with Bill Murray's character has a habit of giving erroneous information about addressing something in a scene, and Rashida Jones has a bracelet or a bangle, as he calls it, and how that's a sign of her being someone's property. And there's a little bit of subtext to do with some watches of her father's and her husband's that are gifted to her that I found kind of interesting. Overall, just a warm, kind of low-key affair from Coppola, who, if you're a fan of hers, will probably enjoy this. If you're looking for her to say something different or radical, that's not this film. Overall, I would give it 3 out of 5 stars.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.